MusicalTalk, the UK independent musical theatre podcast.
Hello, welcome to this week's episode of Musical Talk. My name is Nick Hudson, sitting across from Hannah. Hello, Hannah.
Hello, Nick.
We're going to be discussing two very, very, very different shows today that we saw in consecutive days. Not that that really matters to you, listener, but it was a nice kind of...
It's a nice week.
It was. We went to see that West End deep, thoughtful, intelligent, not at all subtle show that is
iconic.
Yeah, Mamma Mia.
Woo!
And I, as I teased in a previous episode, I haven't seen this for 25 years.
Gosh. And how did it resemble? How much it changed?
Let's treat it as I hadn't seen it at all, because I saw it when I think it was in previews.
Oh, wow.
At the Prince Edward Theatre. I probably have the programme down there somewhere. It was in such an early stage. It didn't even have the 3-song curtain call at the end with Waterloo.
Wow. That's wild. Because I can't imagine that show without it, because it's such a crowd pleaser.
Yeah. But I don't think it was done as a get up and party kind of show originally. It was seen as this kind of...
serious
Not
piece.
serious, but it was seen as the kind of just a musical, really. They didn't really do the big get up and dance at the end. And so I don't really remember anything about it. I remember the show... originally, the Prince Edward had a lot more automation compared to this one, which is now at the much smaller Novello Theatre. And the set was on a revolve and it moved around by itself. And that was probably it, really. I mean, it's such a...
So I saw it in 2009,
right,
I think. And I saw it again, must be 2 years ago. So this is my third outing with it. And God, it's good.
Yeah.
I don't know, 2009, would it have been on a revolve then? Because I vaguely remember it being on one.
What theatre was it in?
I couldn't tell you.
Was it the Prince Edward?
It might have been.
Could have been.
Is that where Book of Mormon is now?
No, that is where the Prince of Wales.
Okay.
Did it go there as well? I think it did.
It originated there, didn't it?
No, it started at the...
Then it went...
Prince Edward.
I think that's where I saw it.
It's doing all the princes.
Yeah, it is. I think that's where I saw it before it found its home at the Novello. Yeah. So...
I think it's the best feel-good show
it's
ever.
Good. It's so good. I'm trying to think of one that comes close to it in that kind of feel-good department. Maybe Rocky Horror, but that's set to a very specific kind of audience.
Wouldn't you say the ending of Rocky Horror is a bit dour, though?
No, because they come out and they do a reprise of the title.
Yeah, but the ending of like the...
Oh, what? Nah.
Because you've got the...
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You've got the 2 ballads at the end, haven't you?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. But... like I say, that's for a very specific audience. I'm trying to think of something that is as feel-good as Mamma Mia.
Well, we have to appreciate that Mamma Mia started a whole new style of British musical theatre, which is these kind of jukebox things with We Will Rock You, which certainly is up there with a great feel-good show.
I've only seen that once. I saw that the same time as I saw Mamma Mia. One day I saw Mamma Mia, one day I saw We Will Rock You. And the other day I saw Oliver.
Okay. And
back in 2009.
Yeah, and it's amazing which one is still playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's helped. We don't need to talk about Mamma Mia because everyone knows what it is. The songs of ABBA to a...
If you haven't seen it on stage, you've seen the film, and I'd say it's pretty close.
You haven't seen either of those, you've been to the dinner show, and you haven't done that, you've probably seen the sequel, and you're probably going to see the sequel on stage, and you're going to see the third one coming soon.
I will say, though, one of the things that I do love is whether it was like it originally, I don't know, but I love that some of the choreography that's in it now is also featured in the film. Now, I don't know if that's the film taking original choreography.
Well, it's the same choreographer. It's Anthony Van Last.
But that's what I love, is those moments that are so well done.
I know the film better than I know the stage show. So I went in stupidly, I kind of left. Well, by Act 1, I was surprised that so much of the stage show is in the film, which I know is a dumb thing to think.
No, I know, but if you think of a film adaptation, you kind of assume that not a lot of it's going to be in the film, and a lot of it is just going to be left out. I mean, similarly, I know I mentioned it already, but that's why Rocky Horror kind of has stood the test of time, because it is so similar to the stage show, and they have honoured it.
And I think that the film had a lot of the creative people coming back. It had the same director, the same script writer.
I think as well, what then people don't expect is that Act 2 opens with Under Attack. And it's like Sophie's dream sequence. I don't think people expect, they're kind of like, what's going on? This isn't in the film.
I also thought that sequence in the show went on a bit too long.
Well, it's just the length of the
But no,
song.
there was a bit when the curtain hadn't even gone up, and you just had this weird kind of...
Oh, yeah, the whole, like...
And I thought, are they not...
Orchestral...
Or are they not ready yet? Is it kind of on a holding loop until it's ready to...
It does do that.
But the show, the one major difference in the show compared to the film, which I wasn't expecting, was the random Australian character that's in it. Obviously based sort of on Steve Irwin, I would think. That's the kind of... or
the nod.
Crocodile Dundee
type thing.
And it works much better for the history of Mamma Mia that they made the characters Swedish. Is it Bill Skarsgård?
Yeah.
No, not Bill. That's
the son.
That's Pennywise.
Yeah.
Lars, is that what it's called?
No, Stellan.
Stellan, something like that.
It's Stellan Skarsgård.
And I kind of prefer that in a way.
Yeah, I do, for the kind of
Swedish nod.
Yeah. I think that's a nice little touch.
But the story's so stupid, isn't it? I mean, it kind of...
Because what was it based on? It's based on
an Italian film, I think, called Mrs. Bella. I'm making this up, but it is based on a...
I know it was based on something that... It's not an original story.
No.
Yeah.
And...
Deep dives with Hannah.
In her duck onesie. It kind of references the fact, we just put internet on the island, so...
He's getting me online.
Yeah, it's getting me on lines, I think is the line.
But then...
lines.
It kind of goes to show when it's set.
Yeah.
But then again, is that just, it's a very remote island, you know?
Yeah, there is that.
But I feel like, it's like with anything, if you watch TV, the one thing that dates it is the technology they use in it. So I feel like that line is also like, it dates the piece like early 2000s.
And you wonder if it were there in the first place. But it's foolproof. I mean, it is the songs...
It's a solid show.
The songs are excellent and nothing will take that away from it. And what I do remember seeing it for the first time is this concept. It was so new that the gag became, what song are they going to put into this plot point? The classic one being...
Chiquitita.
And it's just, I remember the whole audience just cheering at that point because no one was expecting it. I saw it that early on that people didn't know where these songs were going to appear.
I love that.
And it's clever because I hate it when we've done shows about this in the past, but I hate it when people moan about the jukebox musical not having skill behind it.
There's a lot of skill that goes into it. You can see some of them, okay, maybe not so if the song doesn't quite fit, a la Moulin Rouge. Like some of them, the tone isn't quite right, but I think that's the thing with Mamma Mia, is it's either credit to ABBA's absolute solid songs or incredible skill of the creatives to actually find and mould the songs to the situation.
Like you listen to Mamma Mia, the song, and you don't really listen to...
I honestly now all I can think of is Meryl Streep rolling around on a rooftop whenever I hear that.
All I can think of is Amanda Seyfried rolling around on the beach in her bikini, but that's a different story altogether. Yeah. But when you listen to ABBA...
Classy, Nick, classy.
When you listen to ABBA as ABBA Gold or whatever, you don't really listen to the lyrics. But when you put them in a dramatic situation, you have actors do it, you really listen to the lyrics. And the lyrics work really well with the story because there she is talking about... you really hurt me and I'm going to fall for you again and I don't want to. And it's kind of... And you listen to Waterloo and you think that's a really clever song. It's a shame it doesn't come in the story at all.
Yeah.
Even
But
though
it does in the second one.
okay, well, yeah, the boat's called Waterloo, which is the only reference we had to it when I saw it originally. And Dancing Queen singing about how she was a real tease in her younger days, linking it back to all the men she seduced. So it's really very clever, and the songs don't really have a style in the world.
No.
The only bit where it gets a bit Greek is
Take a Chance on Me.
yeah, and
I love how you looked at me as like, which one?
well, you've seen it more than I have, so
Yeah, true.
but everything else is kind
I'm
of all
also the stereotypical target market for
You
this
are.
show and the music.
a gay man in a straight woman's body, but
Absolutely.
the sound is ABBA.
Oh, yeah.
And when they originally came up with the idea for the stage show, they didn't have none of this was written down.
No.
So they had to go to the original tracks
And actually
and
pick
notate
apart.
it all and rebuild that
Love
sound.
that so much.
And also for the film, Benny and Bjorn got all the old band members
Back together.
back together.
We're getting the band back together.
Yeah, and recreated that sound. So it's I really enjoyed it.
I love it.
I couldn't see it again and again and again.
Oh, see, I could. But what I do find impressive is we went on a random Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And it
you
was...
find that impressive anyway.
Well, yeah, just being in London and being able to do that. But we go on a random Wednesday night or whenever we went, and it was sold out.
Yeah.
Practically. There were 2-3 seats in front of us, and the rest of the house was packed.
But now you can get tickets for it because it doesn't have stunt casting yet anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, I hated when they did that and suddenly whacked all the ticket prices up.
Yeah.
But I just love the fact that
if it keeps the show open,
it's been going for 25 years and it's still selling out midweek.
do you think without the film it would be open still?
No,
Okay.
I really don't.
And it's
I think the film is what catapulted it, and because the film is just iconic.
and the film ain't young either. The film's
No,
like
I
18
know.
years old or something stupid like that. But
So-
as I said earlier, what's interesting about Mamma Mia is that it's done that very rare thing that a musical can do, which is build a brand upon itself. So you have Mamma Mia, this production that's played in every planet around the galaxy. Then you have Mamma Mia, the film. Then you have Mamma Mia 2. Then you have Mamma Mia, the party.
Talks of a stage show for Mamma Mia 2,
Yeah.
apparently.
And Mamma Mia 3, apparently. Do we count ABBA Voyage in this as a kind of...
It's just another ABBA thing, isn't it? It's not an actual retelling or version of Mamma Mia.
But every night in London, the songs of Benny and Bjorn are played in 3 different
It's
venues.
crazy, isn't it? Crazy. But that just is a testament to their songwriting.
Yeah. And yeah, it's a really joyful show.
I could see that show until the cows come home. I love it so much. And what I love as well is the casting is so consistent.
Yeah.
In the fact that they nail those characters in looks and personality in every variation. Look at, Tanya.
Yeah.
You think of her as Christine Baranski and you get almost carbon copy on the stage.
It's almost like they went, okay, let's go with Joanna Lumley as our kind of lead, as our guide, because that's what you could imagine her.
Well, that's why when French and Saunders did the Red Nose Day sketch of Mamma Mia, Joanna Lumley was
Of course.
Tanya.
Yeah.
And it just worked so well. So you had Jennifer Saunders
And that sketch is excellent.
as Meryl Streep. You had Dawn French as Julie Walters.
Of course.
And Joanna Lumley as
Surprised
Christine
Julie
Baranski.
Walters didn't play Dawn French playing
and you
Julie
had,
Walters.
Mel Gedroych as
the director or writer, or whichever one it is, or producer.
So good. The whole thing is just so good. Matt Lucas as a choreographer.
Yeah.
It's just perfect. You had Alan Carr,
Yeah.
a Swede as the Swede.
I remember once I worked in
Piers Brosnan. No, it was oh my gosh, Philip Glenister as Piers Brosnan. So good, so good.
I worked in a shop many years ago, and Colin Firth lives around Chiswick where we are, and he came in the shop once, and I was chatting to him, and I said, "I really enjoyed you, Mamma Mia." He looked at me and went, "Thanks."
There's a quote that from him, I'm going to paraphrase, but basically somebody said, he said, like, when I get to the pearly gates, I'm going to get there and what's he called?
St. Peter.
St. Peter, yeah. We'll just look at him and go, really liked you in Mamma Mia.
Yeah. And he'll go, thanks. So yeah, Mamma Mia.
And see it.
Our friend Andrew was excited to go and see it because Maz Murray was meant to be in it, but she wasn't. But
we just have to go back again.
Which
what a shame.
Which wasn't the problem at all because the cast we had was
so good,
spectacular,
so good.
Ella Tweed as Sophie, Kate Graham as Tanya, Natalie Langston amazing as Donna. You wouldn't think she were a standby at all. And yeah, just everyone. But I want to say the thing that stood out for me, and this is me we're talking, it was the best sound I've ever heard.
I love that bass as it rattles in your chest. Oh, that band, they do such a good job.
But they have to.
They have to, because that's what people go for, the music rather than the story. Yeah, fine, the story's fun. We all know it, know it and love it. But people are going for the music. That's what.
Thank you for the music.
Thank you for the music, for the songs that we are singing. And if the music didn't stand up to people's expectations, people wouldn't go. And that band works so hard.
Yeah.
And they are incredible.
All bands work hard in shows.
I know they do, but I think for
the
this one...
sound mixer worked really hard.
Yeah, I think for this one, where the music is such a strong piece...
And it's like We Will Rock You as well, that it has iconic sounds.
I think the thing... It's almost like the music is the main character.
Yeah.
Oh, you take that music out of it, and what have you got?
Nothing.
A ridiculous plot is what you've got.
And... yeah,
and it's the same with We Will Rock You. Exactly. If you take those songs away and you take that music away, what have you got? A weird plot.
I also want to give credit to the very subtle but clever set design and the fact that so many locations are created with three walls.
I love it so much.
3 walls, depending on what side you're looking at.
A bed.
Yeah.
Or a table, some chairs.
Yeah, no projections, no, nothing like that. But just kind of, it's very... It knows the material is strong and it doesn't need gimmicks. It doesn't...
I like how it proves... It's one of those shows that proves that you could be an Amdram company wanting to put on a musical. It's got a fairly small cast, very minimal set. And as long as you've got performers that can do those songs justice, you've got a show.
Yeah. And
there's no expense, like you say, no expensive, tricks.
No. I mean, the most dazzling moment was leaving the theatre and being faced with 55 rickshaws all playing Mamma Mia
at slightly
different intervals. So that was mildly terrifying. But yes.
Also, what did you think about at the end when I jokingly said when that massive moon comes out, which always impresses me? I love the size of that. And all the smoke's on the stage, and Sophie and Sky hold hands and they walk off together towards the moon as they set off on their adventures around the world and off of the island. Oh, and I just turned to Nick and I'm like, they're dead.
Well, yeah, it did have that kind of
the vibe that it gives.
They too are off to meet St. Peter. But yeah,
they never made it on their travels around the world, for the boat crashed and sank.
Off to meet the ghost of Cher.
Actually, by the second film, it's the ghost of Meryl.
There you go. Maybe that's what it's hinting at, the fact that she is dead.
Maybe.
An odd choice, I don't know. Because,
I don't know. I mean,
I get it. The moon is present in certain scenes.
But smaller.
So why has it suddenly got massive?
I think it's night, because at the end of the film where she gets in the boat and she just kind of sails off really lonely with her letters or whatever. No, is that at the end of where they sail off in the boat and she looks like Eagle Piggle with her blanket?
I don't know.
Oh my god, I'm going to show you after we finish.
I started watching the film today.
I noticed it was on the resume playing. I was like, someone's preparing for our chat later on. How far did you get?
20 minutes in.
Money.
Had that.
Yeah.
And then I like the film, but I much prefer it on stage. I mean, the film's fun.
Do you know, even my brother loves that film.
Everyone loves that film because as my mum saw it, and she said, much like the stage show, and this is why it works, you feel like you're on holiday. It's that idyllic.
It's just a sheer feel good.
Yeah. And I would like to see the party with you, because that'd be interesting to see.
I'd love to see it, I think, just to see the difference in it. Because the way that
it's all the same songs.
Yeah, but the way that you've described it to me, I can't see it as working. Like, you've explained to me the plot of, like, oh, it's the rap party and whatnot, but I just can't get my head around.
It's not the rap party.
No, it's the
celebration
of the...
It's been a year since the bar was used as the tavern in the film.
Right.
So now they're putting on an ABBA party, and we are witnessing the story of the inner working relationships of the staff in the restaurant told with ABBA songs.
That's the weirdest plot I've ever heard. And yet it's been going how many years?
Exactly. It's a fair tribute to Mamma Mia.
Wow. That's wild. Okay. I'll take that.
2 productions around the world, one in Sweden, of course.
Shocker.
Book by Sandy Toksvig.
Is it?
Yeah, which is quite fun.
That's brilliant. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And it's weird because it has all the same songs as Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
As does Mamma Mia 2. Ish.
Not all of them.
Yeah, but some of the songs come back.
Yeah, because it's ones that they missed out of the film.
Right.
No, yeah.
Isn't Dancing Queen in it as well?
Of course it is. And there's that iconic moment of Colin Firth and Stellan Skarsgård. They're doing the whole Titanic thing at the front of the boat. Please tell me you remember that.
I will tell you I remember it.
Oh.
I also remember seeing Mamma Mia 2 with our friend.
I went to the cinema with my brother to go and see it.
With our friend Jonathan, and he forgot his glasses, and he didn't know it went back in time. So you can imagine how confused he was.
Oh.
I can't see it. It's too loud. So that's Mamma Mia. Still droning on at the Novello.
It's not droning. It's smashing it out of the park.
At the Novello Theatre.
Love it. I will never hear a bad word said about Mamma Mia.
I'm looking at the cast list, but it's not. I can't see it very well. Harry Bright is played by Christopher Dickens. I thought it said Christopher Biggins then for a second.
Have you got your glasses on?
I have got my glasses on.
Do you need to go and get your eyes tested?
No, I don't. I wanted to talk, to end this short episode, about
what we saw the following night.
It's sort of a musical because it did have a song at the end.
Yeah, it had one song at the end, and Nick was like, yes, we can talk about it. It qualifies.
The Empire Strikes Back, a burlesque parody of Star Wars.
The most unexpectedly brilliant thing I could have seen. Oh my goodness. And now obviously there's adverts popping up at tube stations and things. If you are contemplating because I'd never been to a burlesque show. So I didn't really know what to expect.
I know burlesque quite well.
You do, because you've done music for various performers and various shows and things. So it's an industry that you've kind of been a part of, or has been a part of your life for a good while.
Yeah.
For me, complete newbie.
And you know Star Wars more than I do. So
yeah, so we had the knowledge combined just
to enjoy the evening.
Yeah. And, oh my God, it was good.
Yeah.
It was so good. Costumes are brilliant.
Costumes, I think it's about the costumes, and it's about the puppets, and it's about...
Oh my God. I'm not gonna give away too much, but that puppet.
But that was one step.
That puppet.
That
so good.
It was the kind of, whether it's something simple as a rotating platform or what's the Jedi floating car the cruiser thing, or certain characters. That's what put it a step above normal.
Can we just say
burlesque.
A highlight for me was R2-D2 coming out and just kind of spitting out dollar bill. Yeah. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it had humour. We had a very good MC.
Very good, just as Lando.
Yeah, and we had. It just delivered everything, and it was
the audience interaction was brilliant.
Yeah,
and the audience were just as much a part of it as the cast. I think at points,
exactly,
getting people to do their Chewbacca impressions, their R2-D2 impressions,
or whatever the Wilhelm scream. But yeah, really, really good. You don't need to be a Star Wars.
What's your Chewbacca impression?
Dreadful. You don't need to be a Star Wars fan to really get it, because everyone knows Stormtroopers and everyone knows Darth Vader. It didn't really go into new Star Wars much, did it?
No,
much to
not
my
hugely.
sadness.
You just wanted to see somebody dressed as Rey.
Yeah.
Then remove.
We got Leia though, and we got
Leia.
The droids came out and things. There was one moment of disappointment with the costume, wasn't there, for you?
Which point was that?
When you saw it was a bodysuit.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things when you know that somebody has got a bodysuit on underneath, and then can kind of see the illusion in front of you. But, it then got to a point where you realise why the performer was wearing a bodysuit, and it was brilliant.
Yeah.
So, things like that are really tricky. And I know if I were to make it, I still have to make it look like that. Plus, ultimately, you've got to make it comfortable for your performer to be able to work in. So
I want to also give special credit to the lighting, because that really was
that was really good.
A big surprise.
Timing of the lighting, sensational.
I would have liked more Star Wars music in it.
Yeah, it was a lot of kind of
generic pop songs.
But that's fine. I mean, I think what they did do with Star Wars was it's not like it was just a tiny mention. Like, it was definitely a Star Wars show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you mean. It was kind of like a mix of like burlesque, kind of like the pop songs gave like a drag show vibe, which is where my area of expertise lie.
Yeah.
An experience of going to those shows. That's kind of what it gave the like a combination vibe of.
Yeah, it was always like, what is this act going to do?
Yeah.
But
and yet a variety show at the same time.
Did you find though with burlesque it can get a bit samey?
Yes.
Act after act.
Yes.
And that's
much so.
Through no fault of...
And as an ex-dancer, I appreciate the skill behind what they do very, very much. But it does at points just feel like you're going to see a dance review at points. Not going to knock that. Very, very clever.
What I did appreciate about this was that, forgive me, burlesque is generally for a male audience.
Yeah.
And a straight male audience. And what I loved about this was it had some, I don't want to say eye candy for the women, but it did have a kind of a male version of burlesque as well, which is good.
Yeah.
The finale, though, when we had certain characters doing their own version of Rapper's Delight, is what kind of blew this into the stratosphere for me, because it was so bonkers.
Yeah.
And everything came back at the end, like in a true finale style, and it delivers everything you want as a Star Wars fan, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm still blown away by the costumes.
Yeah.
I'm still blown away by...
I think especially given the costumes and the restrictions that kind of armour can create, and then the fact they're moving in them as well. And we had lightsabers, and we had... there
were cloaks, there were all sorts of
masks
things.
And drones. And
I'll give a hint, there was the gold bikini.
Yeah, there was, of course. Not drones, that would be nice. There were droids.
I was going to say, what are you harping on about? But yeah, I think the whole thing... Big shout out to Emperor Palpatine. It's
all of Emperor Palpatine. Who also had a lightsaber that came out. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of a bit naff. It knows what it is, and it's played all over the world, and now it's at the Riverside Studios in West London, which is delightful for us.
It was just a really nice kind of different thing to go to, that you come out thinking, well, that was a laugh. And it was just something you go into not really knowing what to expect and just being happy with what you've seen.
An amazing thing that Have I Got News For You is being filmed
right next door.
In the room next door.
You got to. We should probably try and find the episode, because you probably just hear the music banging in the background. Want to bet?
Yeah,
because it was loud, which I loved.
You also had so in one room you had Star Wars, and the next room that evening you had David Tennant recording Have I Got News.
We don't know that it was him. It could have been from.
It was, because they do it on the Thursday, then they air it on the Friday.
Nice.
Riverside Studios, wonderful venue if you're a Doctor Who fan.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Forgot
got
about
the
that.
history. David Tennant isn't there every night,
No.
but there was a Dalek.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the circularity of him being there.
Yeah.
How cute. They've got the Dalek there.
It's
They've
got
got
the
nice...
Hammersmith Bridge, which is in a famous classic Doctor Who episode.
Yeah,
Thos
they got,
is probably shouting at me right now saying
the
Yeah.
title of the episode. But
the time code at which the bridge appears.
But no, it was definitely a good thing, and I'd say definitely go out and catch it before it goes.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Would you go again? Would you take your mum, or would you?
Wouldn't take my mum, I wouldn't have thought. But I definitely go again. Like,
Yeah.
I know we've got friends that would want to go and see it, and I'd definitely go with them should they want somebody else there to tag along.
Exactly.
But
Great
it was
fun,
very,
and,
very good.
and thank you to them for inviting us to go and see it, and thank you, Hannah, for joining me for
No,
this
thank you, Nick.
week's delightful episode of Musical Talk. We shall be back soon. Until then, have a lovely week. Take care. And anything else you want to add, Hannah?
No, thank you for letting me come and see the shows with you. Thank you for letting me come on and chat about them.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Musical Talk. To find out more about the world of Musical Talk, you can visit our website at musicaltalk.co.uk, where you'll find all our episodes, or you can listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. Please follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Musical Talk.